We are going out on a very, very, very high note today. Nebraska basketball absolutely pummels the neighbors to the east. Iowa comes in, barely shows any sort of life, and Nebraska challenges the Hawkeyes 66-50. It really was never close in this ball game. I mean, early on, I suppose.
No, it really wasn't.
But it was complete and utter domination for a team that has struggled for many years. I mean, think about think about the last month plus that Nebraska sports has had. Let's go back to Black Friday. Nebraska goes into Iowa City, leads 24-0 in football, holds on to win 24-17. We celebrate, deservedly so. Nebraska then next week plays Creighton in basketball on a Sunday in Omaha and beats the rival Jays by 10. Lose to Purdue in overtime. Last night, you beat Iowa in basketball by 1,016 exactly. What a month it's been. What a month it's been.
That's got me all choked up.
I know.
Keep talking.
I know. Well,
hey. Yeah, and now we have to put this all in perspective. But what you've seen at PBA in the last two Big Ten games was Nebraska push Purdue to overtime. That's the number one team in the nation.
That's right.
And then the next Big Ten game, you see them. Yeah, you're right. They pretty much. No, not pretty much. They thoroughly controlled Iowa.
It was domination. I mean, look.
They thoroughly controlled. Okay, now hold on.
Okay.
What do you do with this team? How do you size it up right now? You don't want to go too far because they're 1-2 in the Big Ten, and they have two road games ahead.
Right.
But what you've seen suggests what to you?
They look like they're a team. They're actually pretty good.
So what's that suggest?
It suggests that we're going to get our hearts ripped out when we have belief.
No. That's not it suggests to me that they can maybe work their way toward the bubble.
Well, I'll tell you what. You don't want to play this team right now.
Well, yeah, just keep. I mean, that's okay. When you say things like that, it just reaffirms what I'm saying. It sounds a little crazy, right? But you saw what I saw. Just believe your eyes.
I was there for every second of that game, watching every second, because I would never leave that type of game early ever. In fact, I stayed like 30 minutes afterwards to soak it in.
Just believe your eyes. Believe your eyes. And what I would tell you, Jake, I'm watching close. I watched on TV because I think I size up the game better. I know this. When they play defense like that, they're going to be tough for anybody, because that team is a very good defensive team when it plays like that. I don't know what happened against Kansas State. But,
it was a week after week of finals,
But when they play like that and then hit some shots, like Wiltshire hit some shots.
Yeah, he was good last night.
I mean, remember this. Nebraska turned the screws on Iowa in the second half with Walker on the bench.
That's right. He had foul trouble.
Yeah, with Derek Walker on the bench.
He got a quick third to be in the first minute of the second half. Excuse me.
And then Nebraska turned the screws on Iowa.
They did. There's a couple stats here that just make me weep. Happy weeping. Okay, we're crying happy today. By the way, if you're watching the video stream,
I like that.
I usually wear a nice jacket or a polo. Today, I got the Husker Herbie with the basketball sweatshirt.
Where'd you get that?
I bought it at Shields last year.
Last year.
They might still be there. They might be sold out. I love this sweatshirt, and I wear it for celebration times. Okay? Anyways, the stat that makes me weep, there's a couple, but this is number one.
What makes you weep?
For a stat that we have cried about sad tears for years, this is a happy one. Nebraska out-rebounded Iowa by 14 last night.
Yep.
54 rebounds for Nebraska and 40 for Iowa. Sip, it's not very often against, I don't care what level team this team has played against in the past. They're almost always down. They were plus 14 on the boards. And how about 14 offensive rebounds for Nebraska last night?
Okay, there's one stat. What's the other one?
Well, that was that was the one I clicked. Look at Iowa in the first half, though. I mean, they obviously didn't shoot well either half. But here's a stat for you, Sip. I can tell you this for sure.
You said you had two.
Oh, okay, fine. Iowa began this game 3 for 27 overall shooting. Part of that was 1 for 15 on 2-point shots.
Wow.
I repeat, Iowa was 3 for their first 27. Now, made a 3 to begin the game. They're up 3-0. And then they were 1 for 15 on their first 2-point shots.
And got down 21.
Yes.
Okay, so what you're seeing, what you're seeing now, and I was tweeting with an Iowa fan a little bit.
Oh boy, we getting
no, it's fine. No, it's fine. I mean,
nice tweeting.
I was giving credit to Nebraska's defense, and the Iowa fan was saying, "Oh, come on, I was just missing open shots." Now, here's what I would tell you: Nebraska's defense is so active, and it wears on opponents, but it also speeds them up. So remember we talked about this against Creighton. Creighton did have some open looks, but they're sort of rushed open looks. And they're the kind of open looks you've played basketball where, oh God, I got an open look. I better fire it up. And it's not real. It's technically an open look, but you feel this pressure to shoot it fast, maybe out of your normal rhythm because that defense is so swarmy. And then in the second half, what you see is it wears on opponents. It taxes them. So maybe they do. Yeah, they're going to get an open shot. Listen, not every shot's going to be contested, but Nebraska's defense is such that it wears on them. The legs are tired. Even around the rim, you see it. I thought Murray, his effectiveness around the rim in the second half was diminished. I think probably because he was tired.
Boy, he hadn't played the last couple games. That injury, so it was a little rusty.
But I'm telling you, it's defense that will wear an opponent down to where they're not quite what they want to be.
But yeah, I mean, you're saying right. There's a couple open threes, but they mostly had contested shots when they came in the paint. When they drove it all, Nebraska was just swarming them. They had nothing easy.
Griesel, they interviewed him on Robbie Hummel. Interviewed him on the Big Ten Network afterwards, and he talked about how connected they are on defense. And think about it, Jake. These guys are doing it. They've only been together for 6-7 months.
Yep.
When you talk about Emmanuel Bandamel,
yeah,
Juwan Gary,
Sam Griesel,
those guys have only been here for a little while, but those guys are the impetus. Gary and Bandamel,
those are dudes. They're dogs.
They're dogs.
They are dogs.
And I have to think Bandamel's a first-team All-Big Ten defensive player. He's the key to it, in my opinion, because you see how he guards the point guard coming up the court. The opposing point guard has tough duty against Nebraska because Bandamel picks him up 3/4 court and harasses him the whole way up, and then makes it sort of hard to get in their offense. They can get into it. These are Division I point guards. I mean, they face guys like Bandamel all the time, but Bandamel is active. I shouldn't say they face guys like Bandamel all the time because it speaks against what I feel, and that is Bandamel is a very good defensive player. And you're right, Gary's a dog, Sam's a dog, Derek Walker's a dog. Derek Walker wasn't great last night.
No, but he was good enough.
But he's good, man. I don't know what the deal is. Jake, you are so big on development, and that guy has developed to the point where you saw him early in the game take the ball up the court himself.
He did.
And lay it up.
He did.
I mean, it was like Magic Johnson.
He was.
I'm like, what are you doing?
He's a point forward.
Yeah, he's a point forward, takes it up himself and lays it in. Goes
it's incredible. Yeah, he did it twice.
Yeah, you were probably losing your mind.
Oh, God. I was at the game. I was a complete ass to Iowa fans.
Were you?
Oh, yeah. I went to the game with two Iowa fans.
Oh, boy. How did that work?
That has to happen again because they're good luck, apparently, for Nebraska. Yeah, I went to get one Nebraska fan, two Iowa fans, and the two Iowa fans were right to my right. Now, I was somewhat polite to them, but they also had it coming because of all the times that they've hurt Nebraska in the past. So,
are you going to play the Iowa Subs?
I'm going to play here soon. I forget. There's a second stat. I told you there's two stats. Okay, so number one was plus 14 in rebounds. Hello. Number two, we have discussed on this show at length, there's not a star in this team. Derek Walker is probably the closest thing to that on a team.
Agreed.
But so when you don't have a star, you better share the ball and have guys that can do their roles.
Yeah.
Sip, 5 players in double figures for Nebraska. And by the way, they were all the starters. Jawan Gary, 14 points on 6 of 11 shooting. CJ Wilcher, 13 points, 4 of 8 shooting, 3 of 6 on threes. Sam Griesel, 12 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Not the most efficient night for Sam, but still. Also had a double-double, 10 rebounds for Sam Griesel. Your point guard had a double-double with rebounds. Emmanuel Vandermill, 10 points on 3 of 8 shooting. Derek Walker, 10 points on 5 of 9 shooting. Not a great bench night, only 7 points for your bench. Didn't need him. The starters did what starters are supposed to do. And they all 5 of them, every one of them were key in that win last night.
Yeah, no Blaze
Keita. No weak link in the starters last night.
Not really. No Blaze Keita in this game. So I don't know what his prognosis is. Now, Nebraska wasn't great offensively, Jake.
Didn't have to be.
No.
Defense carried them, and they made enough shots. So this is the type of game this is how I envision Nebraska winning games. They're not going to win with 92 points. They're just not that good of a shooting team. And if you know that going in, then Fred knew that. Let's win with defense, which we've been saying now for a little bit on the show, a couple years.
Is this where we should give credit to Adam Howard?
Yes.
I mean, because the defense is real. That's real. I mean, when you hold Creighton to 53?
Yeah, 53 points.
And then you hold Iowa to
50.
Okay, that's real defense.
And by the way, you held Purdue to 65 with overtime.
Right. That's real defense. Yeah.
Overtime.
Good point. That's real defense. It's real. It's real. It's as real as the hardwood floor at PBA. Okay. It's real. And it carries. It can play like that every game. Defense doesn't have to be sporadic, like shooting, like 3-point shooting comes and goes. That's why I despise teams that rely on the 3 ball, because that tends to come and go. Defense can always be there. It's just an effort thing. And not just an effort thing. You got to play smart defense. And here's what they do, Jake. What they do as they guard the ball well, their rotations are good. And you notice they're if you watch closely, they're very good at doubles, and they pick the right times. They're very tactical with their double teams. And their double teams are a bitch. I mean, they are. Their doubles. Oh, yeah. They are a harassing defense.
There was a couple times. Connor McCaffrey at one point was just like, he couldn't move.
Right. Their rotations. Yeah, their rotations and their doubles are on point. And this is an athletic team. Sam's really athletic. Vandermel's really athletic. Gary's a dog, as you said. Walker has gotten himself. He's changed his body. Walker's kind of more of a gazelle right now. You thought of him more as a plotter early in his career. He still can't jump.
Yep, still below the rim player.
Yeah, he still can't jump. You saw him on that breakaway. Like most guys would
hammer it home.
Yeah, I mean, it was the whistle blew, but he had about 3 steps to the rim and was going to dunk it, but he hit it off the front of the rim.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. He did. I forgot about that play.
He just can't jump. But he's odd because he's changed his body now, and he's pretty quick in the open court, and he handles it well. And he's good with his left hand. He's a right-hander. He's good with his left hand.
That's tough to guard if you're a post player.
Oh, it really is. He does the up and under really well. He uses the glass really well.
If you can't overwhelm with your size in terms of your how big you are, how tall you are, you better have good fundamentals. And I tell you what, Derek Walker's got great fundamentals right now.
So yeah, Adam Howard. Fred hired him from South Alabama, and it was kind of a yawn. It was a little bit of a yawn.
Yawns are okay if yawns work hard.
But Adam Howard, I got to think that a lot of this, what we're seeing on defense, is just a direct correlation to Adam Howard and what he's done with these guys. You give Nate Lenzer credit too, but give Fred Fred, come on. We've been really hard on Fred. But he's done a good job with this team.
I go back to the offseason when Nebraska obviously found Bryce McGowan was going pro. Trey was leaving. Alonzo Verge was obviously done. He said, well, who the hell is going to score points this year?
And then what did Fred do?
Fred said, well, we're going to score points. We're not going to score as many as we did, but we're going to play better defense. We're going to find a way to actually win games, a winning culture, starting with defense.
He recruited guys that were winners, right?
But we're grinders.
Grinders.
He got grinders. You had to get guys who want to play physical, tough basketball.
Yeah, it's a joy to watch.
It is. I know.
Come on. This Fred was right. He said it several weeks ago. But he said this is the type of team fans can get behind.
Yes, and we're behind him. It was a good crowd last night.
It was.
And a good crowd.
And they don't, please just have some grace here. But I love the program, the Nebraska basketball program, when Mo was the coach, Mo Iba.
Slow Mo.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess.
That was his nickname? Slow Mo?
It was. That's kind of derogatory.
Come on.
I don't appreciate
it. For the style of offense they had?
They play like they're playing now.
Right.
Most teams play like they're playing now.
Well, yeah, I didn't make the nickname up. Don't blame me. I'm just pointing out what the nickname was for Mo Iba.
But his teams, like Bandamel, Jake, Bandamel and Gary would be Mo guys.
Yes.
They would. A little undersized Gary. He reminds me kind of a Bernard Day. People would remember Bernard Day. Bandamel would have worked perfectly because not only is he a great on-the-ball defender, he's very unselfish. All these guys are unselfish. This is an unselfish team, right?
Like I said, dude, 5 guys, double figures. The starters all were double figures.
Yeah.
There's not one guy with 35 points.
Fred's saying the word he's saying connected a lot. They're connected. They got a good team, and they're a joy. It takes me back to when I was in junior high and high school watching Mo's teams. I loved them. They have a certain style that's not aesthetically pleasing on offense, but it's not terrible on offense. They're not terrible on offense.
No, they can move the ball.
They move the ball.
It's not stuck at one person.
Right.
It moves. With further ado, I promised you guys this.
Oh, what's going on here?
Well, listen. Now, Iowa has forced a lot of pain upon Nebraska fans for a couple years in different sports. So when Nebraska wins, as they did on Black Friday in football and last night in basketball, we have to honor a certain song that I made years ago. And the fans are asking for it. They're asking.
This is the height of juvenile.
It is. And by the way, the words are mostly, it's all about football. But you know what? Iowa sucks goes for all sports.
But you didn't play this after Nebraska.
You're damn right I did.
Oh, you did?
Football?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After they beat?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
And it plays again.
I'll take your word
right now. This is for you to end the year properly.
For all you junior high kids out there, enjoy the junior high.
Crank up the radio. Crank up your watches, your phones.
This is the non-adult portion of the show.
Yep. Give me 30 seconds to be non-adult real quick. All the little kids with the N on their lips are going, Iowa sucks. Iowa sucks. Black and gold ain't as classy as red. We're going, Iowa sucks. 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 6 lost years are more common than this because Iowa sucks. Iowa sucks. Parents get lucky every 7 years because Iowa sucks. Iowa sucks. Iowa sucks. Iowa sucks. Iowa sucks. There it is. The Iowa Sucks song. Juvenile for 30 seconds because we had to have it there for all of you fans out there that have been through pain from Iowa. You deserve that this morning.
Nebraska improves to 8-6 and 1-2 in the Big Ten. Iowa falls to 8-5 and 0-2. They have a really rugged schedule ahead. This Iowa team, Jake. They don't have a lot. I don't think they're going to surprise us. Oh boy, what are they?
I just got to read this.
Trying to be serious, but go ahead. Go ahead.
So the moment I announced I was going to play this song, there's a number that literally sent like 20 texts, different texts. I'm going to read some of these. This is the same number.
Same number.
Yeah. Blair it. Let's go. Go Big Red. Bleep Iowa. Bunch of jerks. No, you didn't play it after that game, Jake. I guess
I don't think you did. You didn't play it. Thank you.
I told you to. And you did it. Yeah. Iowa sucks. Iowa sucks. Thank you. That was some incredible
quick
thumb
quick.
work there, Texter. That was 20 texts back to back.
I mean, I think Iowa fans are saying Iowa sucks on the hardwood right now.